Good morning, everybody. I'd like to call this special governing board meeting called by 3 directors to order at this time. There is a quorum present, and we also have Director Hedek on the phone there. So it is a full board that is participating in this meeting. Point 2, motion to consider. Lou? We need a motion and a second before a vote.
I make a motion to consider the invalidation of the FI 2021-22 board officer election on April 22nd, 2021 special organizational meeting. I'm also would like to make an additional motion in support of this. May I do that?
In support. First, it's a motion and a second.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Okay. Is that your motion?
That is the motion.
Okay. Is there a second to that motion? I'm sorry.
George, I made the second.
Lisa Vines has made the second to the motion. Okay. There's a discussion to invalidate the election.
May I speak?
Yes, you may.
I am making a motion to disregard the opinion of Carpenter, Hazelwood, Delgado, and Bowen LLP memo for membership regarding special board meeting election request. There's the letter P, I don't know what that stands for, .pdf. It is dated 6/2/21. Furthermore, this motion is to read to our governing board directors bylaw 5.1.1. Lastly, this motion is to ask the governing board to vote to permit the invalidation of the Sun City West Governing Board election of officers as of April 22nd, 21. The reason being specifically a director, Robert Bob Carnero, voted in secret ballots, some 5-4, 5 to some other votes, and some in abstention. We don't know because it was a secret ballot. In addition, Mr. Carnero resigned from the board as of June 1st, 21. Furthermore, he would not be an owner member on June 30th of this year. And now I'm going to read bylaw 5.1.1. I'd like everybody to think about this just literally. If you were requested to make a decision on this, I'd like you to use your good judgment. Following the annual election of directors, which occurred properly, the directors remaining in office after June 30th of each year, along with I love the music, thank you. I'll give you a chance to shut that off. That's okay, we all do it. Following the annual election of directors, the directors remaining in office after June 30th of each year, along with the newly elected directors, shall have a special organizational meeting for the purpose of electing the governing board's new officers. Additionally, as our governing documents do not address this type of violation of our bylaws specifically, and since issues like these are addressed in our standing rules 2C, which state Robert Rules of Orders are to be followed, the Robert's Rules of Order that address this issue are Article 8, page 47. Please note that this memorandum is an opinion. There are no references to Arizona and or federal statutes cited in his opinion as it relates to the special meeting. I would ask our legal counsel to cite the legal authority that supports his opinion and hence his decision. It's stated as an opinion, which I believe is inaccurate, as I read the bylaws literally. If legal counsel, that group there, reviews our bylaws annually, if they feel the language that addresses this issue were of such importance, they should have advised the board that this bylaw should be more specific. I understand that all incidents cannot be addressed in our bylaws, policies, and our standing rules. When our governments do not address these issues, we have recourse. And that recourse is Standing Rule 2C, which states, if it isn't covered, use Robert's Rules of Order. And I once again state that this is addressed in Article 8, page 47. I would ask the governing board directors, after reading this bylaw, to make your decision based on the literal meaning, not the interpreted meaning, which resulted in an opinion. And I repeat, no statutes were cited. And then, governing board members, make a decision based on your ability to read, understand, and by using your common sense, then decide for yourself and vote accordingly. If you feel that this opinion is more valuable to you than your own sound logical reasoning, then you should vote no to permit the invalidation of the April 22nd, 2021 election. Thank you.
Thank you, Lou. Directors, are there any other comments? Hearing none, we're going to move to answer to the question on this. Question is to whether or not to invalidate the special organizational meeting that was held on April 22nd, 2021. A vote of yay is to invalidate it. A vote of no is to invalidate it. Sharon, I know you're on the phone. I'm going to go to you first because I don't want to lose you. Make sure your vote is counted. Sharon?
Yes.
Okay. Lou?
Yes.
Jim? No. Lisa?
Yes.
Sue?
No.
Ann?
No. Excuse me, no.
Donna?
No.
Roberta?
No.
The vote is 3 to invalidate, 5 to not invalidate. The motion is therefore denied. The vote stands as recorded in the records. Okay, thank you. Thank you, directors, very much for that. Yeah. Thank you very much. Sharon, I know I lost you. The vote was 5 to not rescinded, 3 to rescinded. Thank you. Just so you're available on that one. I thank you for your time. The next thing on here is director comments on our agenda. I'm just going to go around. Jim? Nope. Lisa?
No.
Sue?
No.
Lou?
George, I have a motion, and I think it's in the best interest of our community regarding.
Okay, just a moment. Just a moment. It's comments. This is a comment on what we just did.
Oh, I have no comment. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Just a moment. Ann?
Yes. Since the governing board workshop last Friday, I have received many comments about the meeting. Please know that what I'm about to say pertains only to me. I'm responsible for myself and no one else. I want to publicly apologize to my fellow board members, to owner members of our association, to the staff of the rec centers of Sun City West, and to guests and visitors for any part I played in making that meeting contentious. I am not pointing a finger at anyone, as I know only too well that if I point a finger at someone, 3 fingers point back at me. I have no hidden agenda, no vendettas, no special interest group to which I answer. I answer only to my fellow board members, the owner members of our association, and to our staff. My pledge to all of you is that I will serve in a respectful and professional manner and seek to address all situations in that way. I will try to listen, understand all sides of an issue, and make my decisions based on that knowledge. I'm not perfect, but I'll try my best to bring honor to our board and the community that has placed its trust in me as a member of this board. Thank you.
Thank you, Ann. Donna?
Ann, that was very well said, and I thank you for saying that, and I would like to ditto that myself. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Donna.
Thank you, Donna. Roberta?
I agree with Donna and Ann. I think that one thing that has bothered me since last Friday was the contentiousness of the meeting. I think, as Rodney King said, why can't we all get along? Thank you.
Well said. Thank you, Roberta. I have no comment on this whatsoever. Lou, you have something else?
I do.
Okay.
This is a motion to open the administrative office entry doors immediately.
No, Lou, I'm
Oh.
just gonna give you a heads up. It's not part of a motion on this agenda. Okay,
Oh.
if you'd like that, that would be going to a workshop and/or to a meeting.
I will request a special meeting then, President
Another
George.
special meeting for this?
If I can't do it now.
Well,
the-
you
the
can't do it now.
administrative
It's not part
office
of the
doors-
agenda.
The administrative office doors are locked. We have people, our residents, standing outside.
Lou, I'm asking you, if you would like to if you want this motion to be forward, you can have it at a workshop and/or at the regular general meeting. If you'd like to call to a special meeting, you know the procedure, obviously.
I do, and I will submit one to you today.
Thank you very much. If there are no other director comments, directors, I know some of you have things that you have to do or whatever. If you come out of time frame, please feel free to go. Guest comments, residents, it is your turn to come up to the podium. Please take the time to state your name and your recreation number if you'd like to have anything to say on this issue or any other issue that is a burning for you. Just please, this is what this meeting is all about. Openness to the owner members that are here. Please step up.
Hello, my name is Liz Meyer. My number is 130237.
Hi, Liz.
Hi. I watched the video, and my first thought is this is like the old saying, the little boy in the playground who doesn't get to play the way he wants to says, I'm going to take my ball and I'm going to go home. I do believe in the matter
Excuse me?
of the
I'm sorry, Liz, go right ahead.
I do believe in the matter that's facing with the tax issue and the village store and selling crafts and products. If you are on the board, you have a special interest financially and you should not be able to vote.
Thank you, Liz.
May I respond, sir?
Actually, no.
Thank
This is
you.
guest comments. And are there any other comments coming up to the microphone? Oh, there we go. And don't forget, you're on YouTube, so smile. There you go.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Valencia. My rec card number is 127477.
Welcome to our meeting. Thank you.
Unfortunately, I missed the contentious meeting. I don't know if that was fortunate or not, but I did read the minutes. I read the minutes for this meeting as well, not the minutes, but the description of this meeting. It appears that some of your board members do not trust your legal team. If the legal team, with their experience, their education, and their general knowledge of this community offer an opinion, I think we should take it. These are not first-year lawyers that the association has used. I think we should confide in them and believe in what they say and accept what they say. In addition, I'm not sure if there was a problem with the secret voting of the board positions. I think that's probably useful. You don't want creating little factions inside the board. I think you should always have a secret ballot when you're assigning specific duties to your board members. I too agree that with this last speaker that there are more important things to contend with as far as the IRS and the tax issues right now at hand, rather than any skirmishes within the board. So I hope the board can come together and focus on what the community needs. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your comments. Folks, if there's going to be nobody else coming up here, I think you probably spent more time driving over here than here. The only other thing is I will make sure that you know I am leaving the presidency at the end of the month. Sue Fitzsimons is the elected president-elect. I have open office hours one more Monday because I'm not going to be around there. But if you need to come in and speak, please contact Karen She'll be happy to set up an appointment with you at your convenience, as long as it works for me. Right? I'm pretty liberal on that. But on all those things, thank you. If there are no other comments and no other questions, go right ahead.
My name is Daniel Blauvelt. Member number is 101747.
Morning, Daniel.
People have been talking about measures from the board intended to open up chartered clubs to the general public. Immediately, my initial reaction to that is the fact that it would be a very ill-advised course of action. I'd like some clarification from the board as to what exactly the thought process is and what exactly the aim is. Get it right from the horse's mouth, so to say.
Well, I think you're looking at the wrong end of the horse on that one, but that's okay. There were mentions in our July 4th meeting that we would be very much like Sun City Grand, and there were clubs that would be put under the umbrella like bowling and golf were. Those are all things that are just quote unquote taken under advisement right now. There's no decision and no movement on that. It is one of those things that the general manager and staff were exploring directly. Okay?
Mr. President?
The general manager and the staff
And the
exploring
staff
it?
will come to us with a recommendation after doing due diligence and researching what is in the best interest of our clubs, because we all know the clubs are the heartbeat of our community.
Because we're in a point now where if we go down that route, a lot of people are talking about how we're going to have to compete with outsiders to utilize the facilities that we pay our dues for and that we moved here for. And that might open up a whole other can of worms as far as taxes, as far as the status of this community, et cetera. And it's like my feeling is that it's like a minefield.
I understand. And again, it is just an idea that was put out there. No decision has been made on that whatsoever.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
Mr. President, as this gentleman asked the board's response, and I'm a member of the board, I would like to respond.
Go ahead, Lou. Thank you.
Thank you. And pardon me, sir, I've forgotten your name. Daniel, thank you. This information was put out on the e-news last night, and I responded to it. However, although my comments were sent to the e-news prior to a other comment that was being posted, mine was not. And let me tell you what my position is on guests. As far as dance clubs go, and as far as card clubs go, you might say you don't want guests, but for the last 20 years, we have had them, and we've had vibrant activities. I proposed in my comments, which were not posted, that the way we would work that is, at these events, a rec center staff person would be at these events to collect the fees for people entering the events. They would ask these people if they are dues-paying owner members, if they are owner members that are not dues-paying, or non-residents. These funds would have to be accounted for accordingly. And I also mentioned in my comments that the amount of guests permitted would be a percentage of the total dues-paying owner residents. Let me give you an example. You got a dance club. It's got 100 members. They would be permitted 25% non-owner residents who are non-dues paying and or non-residents. As they come in, the rec center staff person would take their credit card, ask them the question, and there would be a ticket fee, very much like Ticketmaster. You want to go to a concert, it's X number of dollars plus a upcharge. Let's assume these 25 people paid $2. Let's further assume that the person from the rec center is making minimum wage. She collected $50. She's not going to get paid $50. So the rec center actually comes out to the plus. I guess the point I'm making, sir, is that I posted all this because I believe the information in the e-news was inaccurate, number one, They talked about, there were 3 meetings regarding this. Only one had legal counsel. The other 2 should have been open, but were not. That's number 1. The guest policy that I mentioned in the the June 4th meeting.
You know, we allowed these people out here 2 minutes. I think we ought to stand to the same.
Okay. My final comment is, please read the comments, hopefully that will be posted on the e-news. Thank you.
Thank you, Director. Good morning.
Morning. You want my number?
Yes, we do, because we want to know all about you.
218-317. And
Who are you? And your name?
Oh, Meryl Tanaccio.
Hi, Marilyn.
Hi. The reason that I'm here, actually, I came here unexpectedly because I was reading about the clubs and people coming in and, non-member residents, non-members and non-residents. And, my concern is that when we moved here expressly for the point that Sun City was a community that had many, many amenities for its community members, which you paid a premium for, and which you knew your neighbors. You knew who was here, who was not. You cared for the place that you lived and the facilities where these clubs were held. We were held to certain rules and regulations, which we gladly, followed. And I think that the very essence of Sun City West will irreparably change if these clubs are open to the public. What would be the benefit of moving here, quite frankly, if these clubs were open to the public? Our property values would probably drop. You probably couldn't sell a home here. What would be the point? You could live in Phoenix, you could live in Surprise, you could live anywhere and come here and take advantage of the amenities. And you don't care one single bit about the condition that you're leaving the situation in, You want to leave your junk around the clubhouse or whatever, who's going to stop you? So I am strongly, strongly opposed to this, and I really believe that on a matter of such great importance that we should have a vote, that the whole community should be able to vote to whether they want this or not.
Absolutely, and any change of status or those kinds of things would have to go to a vote of the general membership.
Mm-hmm.
The Del Webb put many protections in our bylaws, and that is one of them. And I can sit here and say, even though he has moved to a higher plane of existence, the things that he put in here and has made this community what it is just continues to move us forward, whether he's here or not.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for your comments. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Veronica. I'm 132547.
Good morning,
I just
Veronica.
moved here, and so that's why I felt like I needed to come up here to let you know what it feels like to move into a community and to sit in this meeting. There's a lot of contention up here, which does not feel very good. I bought Sun City West because of what I heard, that there were places where I could retire and be peaceful and have people that represent what my needs were, that I could go swimming, that I could play pickleball, that I can golf, that I can join clubs so that I can meet people, and that we can all just get along and somebody else would have my best interest. I was employed as a psychologist in a school district where I went to many school board meetings, and this feels just as bad. I just went through a pandemic as everybody else did. I just went through a horrible election, and this feels just as bad. So if you all can't get along, then get out and and have the people. I mean, this feels like in Russia, and there's this coup that's going on. This is ridiculous. If you've been voted in, you're voted in, and let's get on with it. And as far as getting people from the outside, come on, people. I'm paying dues. I came here because this is a nice community. You know, I just want to play with other kids and have fun. You know what I mean? So
and in the desert we have a big sandbox.
yeah, we do have a big sandbox, but I thought that there was a kind of a community that had, you know, we were in this, you know, we have golf carts out in the street, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm totally against having other people come in here. But, I mean, if it's for a dance and you got a heartbeat out there, bring them on. But not for pickleball, fighting for clubs, fighting for golf times, et cetera, et cetera. I know I got 3 seconds, so I hope my message was clear. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your comments. Uh-oh, they're running to the microphone. I like that.
My name is Anita Makoviak. My number is 122790. I have to look because I don't use it very often. But anyways, I just wanted to say that I listened to the meeting the other day, and I've been a part of some of the committees and such. Opening up the clubs, when we're talking about opening up things that are like ceramics, things like that, if we open it up to public, it's my understanding that some of the things that we're doing, talking about this tax thing and everything else, is that things are going to change as to how things get paid for. So like my kiln in the ceramic club is now going to be used by not only Sun City West people, but other people. But when we need a new kiln, who's going to pay for that? It's going to be the Sun City West people, because it's going to come out of the rec center or whatever now, or however that's going to work. But I'm saying, I think that these things are for Sun City West people. So I think we should keep it to the Sun City West people.
Thank you very much for your comment.
Good morning. My name is Lyanne Hathaway. It's 133372. So, and I want to qualify that I did serve on the charter committee. All right, I was not on the committee that wrote the proposals here that are up. But my point is that I listened to the meeting the other day, and you know, I'm getting confused about what is the goal. The original project was, we have these laws we need to comply with, and we need to make some changes. But now we've morphed into a profit-making environment. And it seems like, let's just focus on what the problem is, make sure we're compliant, and then if there are proposals that everybody here wants to be in a profit-making way, then we can do that. But I'm just saying, let's just stick to the original goal, is that we need to be compliant with our laws, all right? We have attorneys here that advise us and do that. So let's just focus on that and not get way off into 7 other tangents here while we're trying to focus on one.
Thank you very much. I think I'm breathing into that. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Diane, member number 132546. Question that comes to mind is that if we are inviting the public in, do we open ourselves up to liability if somebody that's not a resident or member here becomes injured or has an accident and then decides they're going to sue Sun City West?
Okay, the question that would be, I'm going to ask you to refer that to our general manager, because I am not an expert on that.
Okay.
I again, as we sit here, they are in part of the operations, and they will be able to tell you as much detail more than we will ever will.
Okay.
So if you want to contact Mr. Schwinn there, he'll put his hand up so you know what he looks like. There he is. And if you contact his office directly, he can answer that question for you.
Okay, great. I just want to plant that seed, because it is something, I mean, either way, that people should be aware of. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Who's putting in miles? Good morning, Sue.
Good morning. My name is Sue Redmond, and now my 121678. Talking about planting a seed. Listening to everybody talking, I too do not think opening up to the public will further our tax exempt status. And Lou, to what you had mentioned about the only additional cost to do this would be that minimum wage person. There's more involved than just that. I'm an accountant, a CPA, and The costs that would be hidden are the costs that the managers will have to go through to ensure compliance. There's a significant amount of accounting that has to be done. There's a significant amount of controls that have to be put into place so that they're able to accurately gather that information. The other problem they will run into is having to deal with the tax status of the entire organization. Right now, as it stands, I worked in Connecticut. Quick. 501c7s are standalone corporations right now. What one legal entity does in front of the IRS, they're legal entities. What one does doesn't affect the other one. And it should not affect the 501c4 either. It's almost like if Sue Redmond wants to cheat on her taxes, George, you're not going to be held liable, or John Smith sitting here in the audience isn't going to be held liable. And I think that's what we really have to think. We're putting a significant amount of pressure on the 501c4 in terms of increased costs and exposure to additional tax liabilities. And with that, thank you very much for hearing me.
Thank you, Sue. And once again, I thank you for bringing that to the residents' point, because again, it's not just a singular idea, it's more than one.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sue.
George, since Sue mentioned me personally, may I just make a quick response? No?
This is a comment section. No, thank you. Please step up.
Good morning. My name is John Freilich, 103-345.
Morning, John.
I've been here for 16 years. I have a big concern. On the one hand, I see that there's demand for space, for new clubs, new activities. On the other hand, I'm hearing, well, bring others in. Can a club not sustain itself? If it's really a club that is desired by the membership, it should be self-sustaining of people here in the community. And I really have a concern, because I came here not because of I could bring everybody in from outside. I've been at the wood shop many times when all of a sudden I live in Portobello. I demand I should be able to be a member here. They didn't want to pay to come in. Hey, sorry. So I think that's something that the board really needs to consider, is why are we here? And if there's a club that cannot sustain itself, well, times change. I mean, look at what happened with the Boomers and the Women's Club, the contentiousness that went in there. And what did the Boomers do? They provided all new equipment and everything. And I mean, we have to look towards the positive of things as we go, rather than the negative. The last thing is, I think that everybody who teaches and is paid for it deserves a 1099. I'm sorry. It's as simple as that. If you're going to get paid for something, so be it. I'm in a photography club. There's many of us who dedicate our time for zero, and yet others want to be paid. Again, this profit motivation, fine. Then you sustain it as a small business, and that you go ahead and pay for it. I have to do it. I'm an umpire in the state for high school sports. Guess what? I have to go with a 1099 every year. I'm sorry. So I think that these are some important things that we need to take time and work on. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hi, George.
Good morning.
My name is Tracy Anderson. My number is 1322045. Please excuse my appearance. I just got off the best lawn bowling greens in the world.
And did you win?
No.
Oh.
We do win sometimes, though. Anyway, I want to back up the truck a little bit here. I believe this meeting was about whether or not the election of our future officers was valid. And in my opinion, it seems to me there's a misunderstanding about the bylaws. And if that's the case, we have new board members, we get new board members all the time. If there is, excuse me, a situation to where the bylaws are being interpreted by, 9 different board members differently, then we have a problem. My hope for this board is that if you have an issue to where you're not quite understanding what the bylaw says or how it's supposed to be accomplished, then you get together and figure it out. Instead of saying, this is what I think it means. No, you're wrong. This is what it means. But if you're gonna have the bylaws, folks, you need to stick to them and do them.
Thank you very much. Are there any other guest comments? Only once. Unless you're buying me breakfast.
Bill Weaver,
Hi, Bill.
124087.
Thank you for coming.
You're welcome. I like transparency. I do not like secret votes. I do not like secret votes from people who represent me. If you need to take a vote, put up your hand and let everyone know where you stand and who you stand for, because you may get my vote or you may not get my vote next time. I have no problem with contention. I think good disagreements are great. It lets people know what the issues are and how people feel about them. I do not favor cancel culture. I do not like people being shouted down because they disagree. I think disagreement is good. That's pretty much all I have to say. I just think we've gone too far with some of this shouting down of people we disagree with.
I concur. Thank you very much. You're fighting for the microphone. Come on.
Brenda Trobaugh, 132933. I just want to say it's complicated and confusing times right now. And I ask my board members to do some soul searching and make sure that they're taking into consideration not their personal interest, but our community's interest. Okay? And then I want to thank them for their hard work and dedication to our community.
We appreciate that. And I can only say that I have served with the finest people on the face of the earth on this board. We work, we may have contentions or whatever. However, we sit here and always try to do what is in the best interest of the association. Good morning.
Okay, good morning. My name is Cindy Lewandowski,
Hi,
and
Cindy.
my number is 122684. My concern is, why is a meeting like this being done in the middle of the summer when the snowbirds are everywhere? Any other meetings that concern the community? I mean, they live here, they've bought in here, if they're not renting. And I think people should be involved in what they can do. Number two is the meeting today. I read it on the internet, on YouTube, but that doesn't mean everybody has access to YouTube. Okay? Not everybody can make it up to the rec center office to get notes that there's going to be a meeting. There's older people that can't even get out of their house, but it also involves them. If they're going to pay more taxes or more rec center dues or whatever, they need to know. And that's my thing. It's a communication with the recs, with rec center and community, or board or whoever's involved. Everybody should know what's going on, what meetings are going on. Things shouldn't be passed in the summer when half the community's gone. That's not right.
If I may just answer your first question, this meeting was called by 3 directors.
Correct.
Okay. It was not scheduled. We have our scheduled meetings set a year in advance.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody knows who, where, when, and how. And as best we can do is to reach out to people with our e-news, with our regular news as best we can. I'm not at liberty. I can't make everybody come to these meetings, and I'm really thankful that we have a good turnout today for this. But again, this is not a normal scheduled meeting. This was called by 3 directors. So it
But
was
that
special.
seems to be the case. I mean, my mom lived here. I've been around here for 20 years. It seems to be the every year case that they have these special meetings in the summertime.
Now, I can say that
Christmas.
if there is one, if I remember correct, no, I agree. I will say
Thank
that
you.
we do our best to keep the community informed on all things.
Okay. Now, this meeting that the 3 directors voted to have. Now, when was the issue started?
We were required by our bylaws that they called for a meeting, and we had to give a response within 48 hours to have this meeting.
So they only realized yesterday or the day before that the bylaw for voting happened. When was the voting?
The voting was in April.
Okay, so between April and now, or June, nobody figured that out or decided to do a vote? I mean,
I have an obligation that when 3 directors come to me for a meeting, special meeting, we have it at our earliest convenience. That is my requirement. I wish I could put the date on the calendar, but I can't. That's what I'm required to do.
okay, well, I'm not telling you directly, independently. I'm saying we have 3 directors that all of a sudden decided this voting wasn't right and it's not going how I want or whatever. And so they wait till now to vote to have a special meeting. Why would you have a special meeting with half the community gone?
That's up to those 3 directors.
It is, and we're directing to you because you're the, whatever you call, what?
I don't know what they call me either.
You know, so that's the issue. It's like, there's things that are just kind of sliding through that the community doesn't know. Because it's like I worked in healthcare for a long time.
You have somebody else behind you that your time has expired.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's
But
better.
the thing is, can I say one? The thing is, there's too many things, like the director will decide, I want this, but nobody else in that community has anything to say about it.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Hello, my name's Lori Mayo, and I just found out about this meeting about 10 minutes ago in the pool.
In the
Okay?
pool?
Yes, because they said it was just posted.
Was it the walking pool or?
I was in my water fitness class, and I got out, and I came over here. 131347. Now, from what I was just told in the pool, and maybe you guys have already talked about this, but I'm going to say my piece. I moved to Sun City West because I liked the area, and I liked the facilities, and I didn't mind paying our dues, our rec fees, to use the facilities. I do not want people from other areas being able to buy in to come use these facilities. And I don't know, I'm just throwing this out there because I don't know who's behind this. And if you have a friend in another area that you're trying to get into here, and if you do, you need to resign. We came here to use these facilities. We do not need them overflowing by other people. Now, this meeting, you just said you're supposed to give us 48 hours notice. I'm not on Facebook. I don't look at YouTube. Post it and give us plenty of time. But I do not want people coming in from other facilities. It's not about the money. It's about quality of life. Okay? So please take that in consideration. We need to have a voice in this, not three people up there, not a few of you that are hiding things and trying to get things passed in the dark. Okay? We want our community for our community. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Another
My
one
name's
who
Bill Rydell.
Another one has to read his rec card number. I love it. We all do the
I
same
know.
thing.
Hey, you know how it is. I use my Wood Club number, 121602.
Thank you for being here.
And stuff. Thanks for having us. First off, I want to thank every one of you guys up there and stuff. I sat on the city council and I was mayor of a small town in Kansas, so I know exactly what you guys are going through and stuff. So thank you very much for all of what you do. Mr. Schwinn, once again, you've got the most thankless job in the world, so I appreciate what you do.
I thought that was Pete the treasurer, but that's okay.
Basically, what I'd like to say is that with this tax situation and things, and I'm involved with the Wood Club a lot, and I belong to the Metal Club and the Car Club as well and stuff. And there's a few people in each clubs and stuff that do kind of use it as a part-time source of income and stuff. I mean, it seems to me that the easiest way to solve the problems with the tax stuff would be to go ahead and make the clubs adhere to the rules. I mean, pure and simple. And I understand, I understand with the village store and how we make money with the village store and things, but there's a lot of people that do use it for a secondary income. And it seems to me that the easy solution is to nip that in the bud and we could go on and everybody'd be happy.
And to your point, we have rules, regulations, RRPs, and we have club issues. Each one of these things state, if I misquote it, I'll be the first one. It's not for commercial gain. Is that right? Is that right, Bill? And again, you guys in the clubs at this time, when you see this going on, you got to put your hand up, because if you can't expect our staff or us to monitor all these people.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. And, it might be beneficial to let people know how to maybe bring it to people's attention or whatever.
Absolutely. And like we said, we are fortunate. We have open president's hours. You can email. I'm sure the recreation manager, put your hand up, recreation manager, James and Casey, and any one of the staff there. If you have a problem with golf, Pat O'Hara, anything, they're happy to answer you.
Thank you.
That's what they're there for. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Carol Klein. My
Morning,
number is 121471. I'm shaking inside.
Oh, please
because I am a people pleaser. I don't want to make waves, but I have to speak up. This is too important to us.
That's what we're here for.
My husband and I bought here. We lived in Apache Junction at first, and we bought here 12 years ago. We bought here because of all the things that you heard the other people say. We love it here. We plan to stay here until the good Lord takes us home. There's a lot of rumors that have been going on. I don't know all the details, so I'm hesitant to judge any of that. But I do know that what took place at that meeting the other night was an insult to us. And I'm looking at you because I'm embarrassed for the way you conducted yourself. I think you owe an apology to the entire board. I think you owe an apology to us, because it's not the way to conduct things. I'm not the most intelligent woman in the world, but I've got a heart, and I know the Lord, and He's directed me that this is wrong. So we need to work together. We need to, if we have issues, talk and bury the hatchet, or otherwise resign. We have told friends of ours who are going to be retiring, come here, we'll show you this. You can't believe this is like a dream. If you don't like it, there's always the option to leave. So I thank this board. I thank everyone who has gone through whatever has happened, and a lot of rumors tell me that there's more that isn't even out yet. So I need to thank you, and thank you for this time. I appreciate all of you, and I love this city, and I will fight for this city.
And please, if you do, like I said, we have open president's hours on Monday from 9 to 11. If you want to make an appointment, ask Karen. We're more than happy to sit and tell you as much detail as possible.
All right.
That's what we're here for.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I was just.
I know.
You're getting into my lunchtime, you know.
I'll buy you lunch.
That's on the record, everybody.
It seems you hit a hot point here. And I just got up and, please don't tell my wife I got up and said,
I'm from Arizona, been here all
Okay.
my life.
Have you stated your name and rec number?
Oh, I'm sorry, Bruce Hart, 134227.
Thank you, Bruce.
I've been here all my life in Arizona. My uncle was Del Webb's CPA when he developed Sun City West. So I got some history here. We finally moved here 2 years ago. And just like for the same reason everybody said, for the culture, for what Sun City is all about. And Sun City Grand was mentioned. Please, I do not want to be like Sun City Grand. Okay? Let me just go on record with that. In terms of, obviously, I am totally against anything that gets the public in here. We have a guest policy, which is already scammed enough, okay? So let's just enforce the guest policy and use it for what it was intended to bring in a few friends to use our facility with us. That's it. Thank you.
Well, thanks for lunch, by the way. Seeing nobody else at the microphone, I will. What? Oh, is there lunch included in this one?
No,
Okay.
buy your own. I'm Nancy Steely, 74074. I have lived in many states in the United States. I wasn't running from the law. I love it here. I came here for all the clubs and everything that is available to us. As far as bringing outsiders into our clubs, I am definitely against that. We need to keep our facilities for our people who pay the dues every year. It's our club. And bringing in outsiders, I'm worried about the liability also. And also, Lou, I think you need to apologize to the board. You are totally out of hand. And Mr. Schwinn, I apologize for the way they have treated you. You have done a good job, and I admire you for taking this as you have. I owe you a drink.
I'm looking for the last sprinter. I agree. Seeing nobody else at the microphone, I'm going to close the comments on this one. I want to. I'm sorry. You're not supposed to. I'm sorry. But let me just say, first off, I want to thank the community for coming out here to support the board and the people that are out here. Your comments are well heard from, and I appreciate the opportunity to sit here and serve and listen to you. I thank you so much for being involved. The important part about this is that you know that the hearsay out there, even from the pool, is things that we need to talk about and discuss. Del Webb set us up as a wonderful community to move forward, and I want to thank you. Hearing nothing else, I will gladly adjourn this meeting. Thank you all for participation. Have a great day.